What's up, guys? It's about time I bring the Let's Talk series back. And before we get into this video, you're watching Shangri-La Zombies gameplay in the background. And let me turn off my fan. It is blazing hot in my room, but I stayed to make a video for you guys. And I kinda need to bring back the Let's Talk series. Now, not to get confused with Jugs Gaming Let's Talk series, I did not steal this from him. He did not steal it from me. It just so happens we call it the same thing, but with different ideas. If you don't know what his Let's Talk series is, don't worry about it. You know what mine is, and vice versa. If you're coming from his channel and you're more familiar with his Let's Talk series, my Let's Talk series is a more of a personal subject video. So this video is not down in the dumps like anything. It's about freshman year in high school. Now, I don't know about freshman year in college, because as you guys all know, in the past 2 weeks I've been pretty hyped about the end of school, and I've been basically giving you almost day-to-day updates with every video I posted. And so, as some of you may know, I got off school. Last day of school was yesterday for me, Wednesday, May 25th. Now, I am done with my year, my freshman year, or my first year of high school. So what this means is that I have a little bit of a grasp on what's going on in high school. You know, what to do, what to think, what to expect. And there's a lot of people on my channel, because this is, I like to say, more targeted towards a younger demographic. Like, everybody that's watching my video is most likely the same age I am. I'm 15 years old. I turned 15 April 7th. So that's where I assume most of my viewers are. So all of you guys are either done with freshman year, going into freshman year, or some maybe currently in it. Some schools I know still haven't got off. So here's more of a video keyed towards 8th grade and younger, even though there's a finite limit to how young you really need to worry. Mostly 8th grade. So yeah, because those are going to be the guys going into high school. 8th grade here ends on, I know there's some schools where middle school or junior high does not end until 9th grade, but around here, 9th grade is your first year of high school. So if you're going into your first year of high school, and there's a little bit of a worry there. Movies and media and people have built the stereotype that all freshmen are hated. And that is completely false. I went in there and there's like 4 kids that actually lived by the freshman stereotype. And that's just because they're seniors, they're done with school, they're done listening to people. Sorry, that was Windows 10 telling me about my Razer wants to update. They're done with people. Like, they're out. They have a few months left until they're done with high school. They don't ever have to see anybody there again. That's basically when they're going to start their life. So they're a little eager. And if they're a little eager, you get a little irritated, just like you're on the car, or you're in the car on your way home, and you're so hyped to finally get home, and you're like an hour away from getting home, and then you realize, oh, an hour's a long time, and you just get more agitated about it. That's basically the same thing. But I think every other person, I was in a mixed class, and what a mixed class is all grades can be in that class. My Spanish class was a mixed class. We had 4 seniors, 3 juniors, and the rest of them were sophomore and freshmen. And they were all great. Talking to the juniors and seniors was fun. I mean, the seniors actually, I became friends with the seniors and juniors. And they actually, when the class selection came around, they helped me select my classes. So that was great. And so, basically ruling off number 1 fear of freshmen, don't worry about the other kids getting on you because you're a freshman. That shit's not true. It's a load of bullshit created by media for an entertaining plot line in a movie or a TV show. Now, second thing is the homework. Everybody says high school is insane on the homework, which it is, mind you, but if you were smart enough in your middle school years, basically, if you're in 7th grade right now, I'm going to give you the biggest tip. It helped me a lot. Plan your work ethic. So, if you get homework, make sure you come home and do your homework. plan ahead. Know when you're going to have time, and make sure you're going to have enough time to do your homework. Because the more later you get into your schooling years, the less teachers are going to be lenient on late shit. My teachers so happen to be a little bit more lenient, but that's just because the classes I'm in are such delinquent classes. They know they're not going to get their things in anyway. So they're like, you can turn it in 3 weeks, and the max amount of papers they'll have to grade over the weekend is like 15. And that's pretty tiny. Like, my English teacher, I won't say her name, but she was awesome. And she said that she goes home over the weekend and grades at least 300 papers every weekend. She says she has no weekend when school is in session. So, trust me, the teachers are going to be somewhat lenient at first, but then they get tired of it. I was never an issue. I didn't have much homework because I stayed on top of things, and I always tried my darnest to get work done early in class, which sometimes cannot work out the best, but it did happen to work out for me. So I can have time in class to do my homework and get it done, so I can come home and instantly do my chores and get up here and make a video for you guys. That's why most of my videos, at the beginning of the year at least, were coming out at like 5:30 to 6. And now with the longer editing process, because the new 60 FPS, that's why they've been coming out later. And plus I've been recording later. But there's something else that people need to understand about teachers and freshmen, is that they are used to you being, like, high school is supposed to be extremely drastically different. At least for me, the way the schedules work and everything, my high school is not traditional, which is 7 periods. It is blocks. Block classes are 2 periods. In a 7-day period, we have 4 in a normal 7-day period, or 7-period day, we have 4 classes, and they're called blocks. They're each an hour and a half, and I personally like them better because that way you can do all your classes. I know it might suck to sit in the same class for an hour and a half, but it not only does it make the day go faster, but it also kind of takes the stress away from homework, because not enough classes. If every class assigns you homework, pretty much the maximum amount of worksheets you're possibly going to do is like 6. So it's pretty nice, in my opinion. But my old school, my middle school, is on traditional. And traditional schedule is you get in the morning, there's 7 periods in a day. And so you have multiple classes, and I found it more stressful to have more classes because there's more information you have to retain all at once, and it's a little overstressful. So how I kind of got used to it was you just kind of focused. Taking notes, I know I'm going to sound like a buzzkill, but taking notes helped me a lot. So what does this have to do with the teachers? The teachers know you're used to the normal schedule, so they're a little bit more lenient on you, especially for the block classes, because the way our freshman year works, they have 9th grade academy, they call it, to kind of work you into high school, because they know you are not quite used to, they know you're not quite used to this new schedule. So what they did is that all of our core classes, our required classes, history class, math class, reading, language arts, and science class, those were all skinnies, and skinnies are your normal period. They're 45 minutes, and there's 2 of them in each block. So if we had skinnies if we had a skinny in one block, we had a skinny in the same block. We had 2 skinnies in one block. So that's kind of how they worked it out for us to kind of ease you into it. But next year, I'm going to have 4 blocks, and I'm kind of on the preference of that. So what they kind of realize, the teachers, they're kind of used to you getting a little overwhelmed at first, especially the block teachers. The block teachers kind of realize that this is new, this is something strange to you, being in a class for an hour and a half, sitting your ass at a cold, hard desk for an hour and a half, can be a little strenuous and weird at first. So they usually accommodate for that. Most teachers don't even like to sit down half the time, so they'll just let you stand. They don't really care as long as you're not disrupting the class, and and you're just doing your work. You're getting stuff done. So also, there's another thing going into high school that everybody needs to know, that talking and making friends isn't everything. High school is your time to shine. High school can change your life more than college can, in my opinion, because high school you can get scholarships to go to college, and if you don't get that scholarship, you might not even go to college. See, that's what I'm saying, that huge domino effect. Just something little, just getting involved in sports and everything can really mean a lot. So I recommend doing a nice balance. Try to make time for friends, but make sure you're not screwing around in class. Also, on the social aspect, I know I just said you don't want to talk as much, but we're getting out of the academics aspect of high school. The social aspect. This is what everybody's terrified of, because there's so many people in high school. Different people. And at least for me, we come from a very small town, and the middle school I went to, I think it capped off at like 200 students, and it's also an elementary school. So for it being a K through 8 school, that's very little amount of kids. So then I go to this school, which has, I think it's 1,400 kids in it. I don't quite remember, but I know it's over the thousands, but not near the 2,000s. So this is huge compared to my normal schools, what I'm used to. This is massive. And everybody says, oh, find your clique, just find your buddies and, make a new group of friends. That is completely false. Most of my friends are from the school that I previously went to. Now, for any of you that don't know, all schools have a track. And so my elementary school, they're called feeder schools. My elementary school that I went to feeds into my intermediate school or junior high. And then that junior high school feeds into my high school. And that means everybody there should know each other if they stayed on the path. If that's how most schools work. So most of the people there in your grade, you should already know at least some of them. So what I recommend doing is getting to know people through classes. This is how I met all my new friends, is through classes, working together, hanging out with each other in the classes, kind of getting to know each other a little bit. Not from going out and being an extreme extrovert and shaking everybody's hand saying, hello, I am Kane. What is your name? That's a little creepy. No one will talk to you if you're doing that. Trust me. My friend tried it. He did not get successful. He did not get very far, and he got slapped a couple times by a couple girls. Mainly because he probably grabbed their ass. It wouldn't surprise me. But the thing is if you hang out in that group of friends, it'll make you feel more comfortable. And if you're in your element, you're more easygoing with new things. So get in your element, hang out with your buddies, and you can experience the whole new thing on your own. Or not on your own, together. And it'll help a lot. You can talk about each other's experience, give each other's advice, hang out in the morning before class, and if you don't have any classes together, try to hang out during sporting events. Just make plans with each other and hang out, talk, and chat. And eventually, you won't even realize it. Without making a conscious effort, you will progressively gain more friends. And that is the selling point of high school. You can just go ask your parents, and they'll tell you some of their best friends to this day they met during high school. My dad is a little different because of where he grew up, where I am currently growing up, not the town specifically, but this area is pretty small, so everybody kind of hangs out with each other. So he's known his friends all of his life, but my mom has met all of her best friends via high school. So if you're going into high school this year, next year, 2 years from now, 4 years from now, what I recommend you take from this video is don't try to be too extroverted and make as many friends as possible. Get a work ethic down and just try to do things you're uncomfortable with. There's going to be a lot of new things in high school, a lot of new stuff to try out, a lot of new girls, and so I'll see you all later. I hope you took something from this video, and please leave a like and a comment if you want the Let's Talk series to begin. Or to really be getting started, and please let me know in the comment section below if you made it this far, and if you want a special topic talked about. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you all later. Oh, and I almost forgot, one of the best things about being a freshman in high school is that all the girls are either your age or older than you, so you don't have to feel bad about thinking a girl is really hot, because there's no potential, unless she is a prodigy, that she is younger than you by an extreme scale. I'll see y'all later.